I'm going to be assembling one of the angled multi-bins. We've got a few parts that you will not need during the glue-up part of the assembly. All of these are adjustable dividers that you will be able to move around and place in once things are assembled. We're going to set those to the side for the time being. Also, the lid to the bin we won't need until we get things all the way put together. So I'm going to set that aside. These are the pieces that you need to actually do the glue up. These are the outer edges, the inner sides. This is the back, this is the bottom, this is the front. This really doesn't matter which way you have it, this way or this way. If one side looks a little cleaner, feel free to use that one, facing whichever direction you choose. The front, you'll notice that it has teeth on the bottom and it's smooth on the top. So I'm going to place that right here like this. You'll notice this has some little holes in the bottom here. They are closer to the front than they are to the back. So if you put this like this, that's incorrect. It's supposed to go like this. Then here is the back of the box. And here are the inner sides. I'll place these more or less like this. These will be the last things we glue on. So you can use any sort of glue you like. This is what I'm using today. It is Elmer's Craft Bond tacky glue. When I'm doing this myself, often use some more specialty wood glues, but I know that if you're assembling this yourself, you probably don't have those. This is perfectly acceptable, so you don't need any of my precision applicators or anything like that. One of the things I like about this, it's tacky so it doesn't run everywhere, and it's got a relatively fine point on the tip here. You don't need that much glue. This isn't going to be a load-bearing piece or anything like that. I'm not going to put any along here just yet. I'm going to wait for that. So I found the easiest way to begin this is to take one of these sides and the front and sort of angle them both up at the same time, and you'll find that this just wants to slide right in there like that. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the other side, sliding that onto the front. Then I'm going to take the back, bring it up, and snug it right in there. So all of those fingers should be holding things together. And if you have a nice tacky glue like I've got here, it should be holding things together relatively nicely. It's all just sort of held together with just the tackiness of the glue. So you got to be a little bit careful here. I'm going to put a little bit of glue on this face here. And I'm going to try to get a little bit on these fingers here, but they're not really that important. We want as little squeeze out as we can, but we want enough to where things will stick to each other. In terms of getting any on these little fingers here, I have designed this in such a way to where these fingers are short enough that they don't really need to be stuck to the outer piece all that much. So I kind of want to err on the side of less on those things, because too much glue squeeze out can get in the little channel where the lid slides in. And that is suboptimal. So now at this point, you'll get it lined up with the fingers. And there we go. So then, I'm going to come over here to this other side. Maybe a tad on these fingers here, but once again, you want to err on the side of caution with that because of the squeeze out getting into the channel. So again, you line this up. I'm trying to do it facing away from me right now, which is not the easiest thing. You go ahead and place that on there like that. So now this is what you should have. So note what's going on here with the sides. So this is double layered so that it has this little slot where it can catch the lid. You can put another little bead of glue, particularly if you're using some kind of glue that dries clear, like most do, some professional wood glues do not. Most glues of this nature do. And put just a bead of glue along there. That will dry clear for the most part, and it should flatten itself out a bit. If you wanted to run a finger along to smooth it out, you could. And then to reinforce it from the inside, I'm going to go ahead and put some of these in. When you're actually assembling your own, you will put your own bits and tokens and whatnot in here, and you can divide these up in whatever way works best for your organization system. Right now, I'm just putting these in here. And you'll notice that these do curve away from the glue, so they shouldn't get stuck in there. And even if they do a little bit, you should be able to wedge them back out. Double check and make sure I don't have any glue that squeezed out into these channels here. If you did, then before this next step, I would suggest getting like the end of a paper clip or something like that and just cleaning out any glue that happened to squeeze out into these channels. Because then when I do this, you don't want this to get really stuck in there. I'm not going to snap this into its little snaps yet, largely because there is the possibility of just a little bit of glue squeeze out that you may or may not actually notice happening. And that can make it very difficult to get this back out. So I usually like leaving it loosely in here as you currently see it, while the glue is drying. I'm going to put one or two more along the middle here. Try and hold this in here so that glue can really take hold. I just want to press in here. And that's one of the reasons I put those dividers, is so you have something to press against and you aren't just bowing it in further. And just let it dry for half an hour and it will be good to go.